Yo, what's going on, everybody? I wanted to hop on and talk about the time an awesome party ended in a terrible fight. I have this homie, we can call him Josh, and he used to throw these awesome parties. Once a year, every summer, he would throw a party and invite all of his old high school friends. This was the last time Josh had ever thrown one of these parties, so I pull up to the spot at about 10 p.m. I get in there, Josh sees me, his face lights up. We shake hands, he pours out some shots. I'm seeing guys that I haven't talked to in years, and they're all real friendly with me. We're all doing shots together, talking about what's new with our lives. Everybody was hanging out. There were maybe 40 of us there, and we had music playing, drinks flowing, beer pong, a campfire. I mean, it was an awesome summer night, guys. But anyways, the night goes on for a while and it rolls around to maybe 2 in the morning and everybody's getting pretty tired. A lot of people have gotten Ubers home. There's probably about 10 of us hanging out at this point. Now, just to note, at this point we're all chilling around the campfire and there's only 10 of us hanging out, right? And next to me is my homie Sean, who's been doing really well for himself since high school. In high school, he was definitely struggling, trying to find his own way. But now he's really confident. He was dressed well. He was talking about his business taking off. And he was there with a very pretty lady our age, which he was dating. And he was telling me and some of our other friends about his relationship around the campfire and how he's just very happy with his life. And we're all cheering him on. We're just happy for him. And we're kind of just going around the campfire talking about where we're at in our lives and what's new with us, because we only see each other maybe once a year. Josh is talking about his college life and the fraternity and some of the girls that he's seeing. And we have a homie, we can just call him Jack. And Jack is sitting across from us by the campfire. And I could just kind of tell that he was in a bit of a bad way. I was talking to some of the other friends from school, and from what I'd heard, he was just working at the pizza shop, living by home, wasn't really making a lot of money, wasn't really doing a lot for himself. And he went to community college for a bit, and then he dropped out. And we all just kind of felt bad for the guy. He was kind of this sort of overweight dude, our age. His hair was a little bit long and unkept. His facial hair was really scraggly and unkept and kind of thin. And he was going really hard with the shots. Like every now and then, all of us would maybe grab another beer or head inside and do some shots together. But he would go in on his own rhythm, just by himself, like popping in and out of the house every like 20, 30 minutes, just pounding shots or like chugging a beer. And then coming back outside and grabbing another beer from the cooler and then sitting with us. Like, dude was just in a bad way. And we all felt kind of bad for him because we were all going around the circle sharing where we were at with our lives. And he just clearly was boiling over. But anyways, party is super dead at this point. Campfire's dying down. And we all get up to go hang out inside the house because it's starting to get a little bit chilly out, even for a summer night. And at this point, the girl that Sean brought with him takes off in an Uber with the other girlfriends that were still left at the party. And it's just a couple of us left. It's just some of the bros and Josh and this guy Jack, who's clearly in a bad way. And as we're walking upstairs, he's kind of stumbly and he gets to the top of the stairs and he pukes. It was so nasty, just this spew, this stream of straight vomit from the top of the porch going all the way down into the grass of the backyard by the campfire. Like, there was a lot of vomit coming out of this kid. So all of us are trying to help Jack out, and we're sitting him down outside because it's just easier if he wants to just throw up in the grass. So we're all just sitting with him, and he starts talking shit on Sean, like to his face. He's like saying really backhanded stuff like, oh, wow, I'm shocked you have such a hot girlfriend considering what a weirdo you were in high school. And Sean was taken back by that. And he was like, dude, I know you're fucked up right now, but you can't say anything like that. You need to pull yourself together because we're your friends and we're trying to take care of you. Now, here's where things take a huge fucking turn. We're sitting with him for like 20 minutes and he's just dead silent, hammered, still puking a little bit, burping, like clearly just out of it. And then he starts chugging some water and then he stands up and he's just standing up. He's standing up off the grass. He walks back up onto the porch where he initially puked. And it's kind of crazy how much more cognizant he was over just a few minutes, but he's looking better. You know, he got it all out of him. We're telling him not to drink anymore. So at this point, homie's able to stand on his own, right? So Sean says to him, all right, bud, just like make sure you sit up straight and drink your water. Like you should probably call it on the booze for tonight. And Jack immediately cuts him off and says, fuck you, I'll drink as much as I want. Josh and I are like, yo, whoa, holy shit. And at this point, Sean is getting mad. Because keep in mind, even though Jack was really fucked up, he's pretty cognizant at this point, and we're all wasted anyway. Sean gets really upset, and he's like, dude, we're all trying to help you. Like, why are you being so mean? Like, just because you're jealous of us doesn't give you the right to be a dick. And then Jack's like, fuck you, Sean, I don't care about all that. I'm doing just fine for myself. And then Sean says, dude, you're a fucking alcoholic that dropped out of community college that delivers pizza. You're a fucking loser. And that was fucked up. That was pretty deep. He shouldn't have said that. And I don't know why Jack did it, but Jack looks at him and his face gets red and he balls his fists in anger and he points at Sean. And Josh and I are silent. We're stepping closer because we think we're going to need to intervene. And Sean is inching closer because he knows that Jack's about to say some out-of-pocket shit. And Jack says, I've gooned to your girl before. That's literally what he said. He said, I've gooned to your girlfriend before. And he starts to like, this vile grin on his face pops up as he says it. And Sean's like, dude, what the fuck? Sean takes a step towards Jack while he's balling up his fist and he's winding all the way up. His fist is at his hips and he's winding up the worst, slowest overhand I've ever seen and throws all of his weight into it and hits Jack square in the nose. Neither of these two dudes knew how to fight and they were both wasted, but this guy wound up on him like a cartoon Mickey Mouse, like wound up overhand punch. And cracked him in the nose like in slow motion. Josh and I immediately pull the two apart and Sean is angry but Josh sits him down and he's holding his nose. Jack is just holding his nose, sitting down on the porch with like some red drops coming down his face. His nose is bleeding and I can see his eyes are like watering up, like he's starting to cry. And Sean is still pretty mad and he turns and he looks at Jack and he starts to open his mouth to come up with something else to say, but he can see that Jack is clearly just really upset and crying already and there's no point in saying anything else. So Sean just closes his mouth without saying anything and then turns around and leaves. And that was it for the night. I don't know if he walked to another homie's house or got an Uber or whatever. But at that point, Josh was just done. It was so awkward. I'm just sitting here on the steps at like 2 a.m. And Josh and I are talking to Jack, who's crying with a bloody nose because Sean punched him in the face because he said that he gooned to his girlfriend. So, yeah, man, that was it for the parties. Josh never threw another summer party after that ever again. Josh was really upset with Jack, and rightfully so, and he was so mad he said that he would call him an Uber, but he wasn't allowed to wait inside the house, so he had to go sit on the sidewalk until his ride picked him up. Hey man, if you got some crazy party brawl or stupid party stories, drop them in the comments below, but yeah, man, that's the video. I guess don't pull up to the yearly reunion party and tell your homie that you goon to his girlfriend after he tries to help you. But anyways, y'all, drop a like if you enjoy. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.